Your worst enemy. Because we all wanted you to do so well, we were all on your side, and you were kind of like... So can you share with us some of the things going through your mind?
Well, at the beginning I was scared, and then I got scared even more.
Yeah. I think we all know that feeling, right? Yeah. So what would be something you could... Have you picked up some tips this week of things you can do? Because this feeling will happen probably another time. Yeah. You start and think, oh my God, why am I here? Why am I doing this? I paid for this, right? I'm going through torture. So what messages can we give ourselves? What have you learned this week?
To really feel like I'm standing on the ground and to be really like on my feet and and
Did you do that?
I was trying to.
Okay.
And really I was trying to as well like breathe and like shut up my thoughts.
Yeah.
My negative thoughts.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. It's not shutting up the negative because they will be there for sure. You just have to make the positive one stronger.
Yeah.
But I love playing the flute. I love this piece. I have a nice sound. How lovely all these people are here today. They are on Team Sarah. These positive thoughts have to be shouting because the bad thoughts will be there for sure. You just have to make sure the good thoughts are stronger. You know, sometimes I think it's a trick I'm not sure if it's from Don Green. You know, I read so many books about how to cope with stage anxiety. I forget which tips I got from which books. But a good trick is to give I think it's from Don Green, this book I mentioned at the beginning, Audition Success. And he said, okay, these negative texts, this negative, oh my God, what am I doing here? Why did I say I would do this? Oh, I should have practiced. Oh, I shouldn't have had a wine yesterday. Oh, I should have slept better. These kind of thoughts, they will happen. These negative thoughts, give this name, the person who's saying this, so your kind of alter ego. I said you are your worst enemy because your text was coming at you so loud. So can you give a name to the person with these negative thoughts? You don't have to tell it.
Okay.
But for you, maybe it's, maybe this is a tip can help everyone. I think in the Don Green book, he says that the person with this negative test is called Bob. And Bob, go away. I don't have time for this now. Okay? So you are taking away these bad texts. It's not you, Sarah, with the bad text, but it's Bob. Okay, Bob, I'll talk to you later. Now I'm busy. To take it a step further, I think once in a session about stage performance, and they said, give this text, this is a little duck sitting on your shoulder with this bad text. Oh, you sure you practiced enough? Did you get enough sleep? Should have had the coffee this morning? What is everyone thinking? And this is a little duck on your, and you say, the duck. So every bar rest, you have, stop it. Bob, I'll speak to you later. Now I'm busy. This is a way of, because I think we all have this kind of inner dialogue, right? And this can really get in our way. I saw it happening, and you started a little nervous, okay, but it kind of got worse and worse and worse. And we are just thinking, yeah, go Sarah, enjoy, share your music with us. But your thoughts were completely in the negative way. So we can say, Bob, let's talk later, or the duck. And you can visualize it, really can take it away from you. Of course, we can do some physical things. So the first breath, yesterday I think I talked about take one breath. We were waiting a long time. Tim, can we start the lesson already? Can we start the lesson already? This is a time you need to go into your bubble. And doing some breathing exercises, whatever you find most helpful. But when I see a big solo coming up in the orchestra, yesterday I said, you cannot be nervous if you're really blowing out. You can try it, because you have to play again in a minute. So I'm talking so that you can find yourself again. Your real self. We didn't hear your real self, no? And then, of course, the first breath that you take, you have a long time. Then you blow. Okay, so we have the mental things we can be doing. We talked also about Don Green's idea of having, okay, what is the atmosphere of this music? What do we want them to be feeling? Oh, this cantabile, that secretly, of course, we all want to be a singer, right? We all want to be singing, but somehow before we start playing this piece, like, no, I want to persuade them that the flute is even better than singing. Or I want to share this beautiful piece. I guess you think it's a beautiful piece, you chose it. Thank you for not choosing it. Also beautiful piece. So we have the mental things we can do, but we can also really, the physical things we can do, making sure we are really grounded, really bringing ourselves to the breath. Shall we just immediately do one more time, beginning?
Of course.
Because in the audition there's only one time to do it. And I won't be there in the audition to be distracting you from how terrified you are. So you have to do it yourself. You can do it yourself. Let's do one more time, beginning. Was it in your head?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's always in my head because I'm like thinking too much about things when I'm playing.
What things?
The negative things. Like, yeah.
You know, sometimes I even
like, for example, when there is like some more difficult place, I start to think like, oh my God, it's coming, and how am I going to play it? And well,
No, I completely understand, and that's, you know, these we have two very fragile moments right at the beginning of the piece. So one is the first time we have piano. So we need, and that's when I felt that the shaking was started, and you're thinking, oh my God. And then the other one is the delicatement. I don't know how to pronounce it. It is also on a B flat. So let's make friends with your most feared moments. When you can do the scary things, then the rest is easier. So let's try the softest B flat in the low register. Okay, half that dynamic. Okay, so what needs to happen? In real life, it doesn't need to be this soft. But when you can play this soft, then to play it a little louder is easier, right? So what can we do? What messages can we send to our body to help us in these moments? Where do you feel the most? Where do you lose the contact?
Like what? Here.
It's here, right? So, and luckily it's a note that's likely to be too flat. So why don't we do one more time, the softest B flat you can manage, and just think of the contact point here, and that it's going in this direction. Think of the contact here. Pretty nice. We keep that one. Let's try the same thing one octave higher. Now I would suggest that as well as keeping the contact place here, that you think, okay, but the air needs to go twice as fast as the one you just played. So fast air. Second. So we were talking yesterday in Janka's class about running before you simulate. I won't make you run up and down the stairs, but when I was studying with Marion, he used to make us hold the flute like this and do 10 squats. and then starts this B flat. So I'm going to make you do that. Do you go to a gym?
No. 10?
See how as many as you can do, and then one more.
Okay.
Maybe you need some. Is someone counting? 4, 5,
6, 7, 8, 11, 12, and 13.
Is your heart rate a little higher? Okay, then faster. More fit than I was. For sure than I am.
Okay, that's enough.
Okay, heart is a little faster. Okay, let's try the low B flat. Contact. Up. Great, fantastic. Before you get your heart rate down, otherwise you have to do more squats. Let's do the high one. Fast. Contact fast. Yeah, okay. Not bad. So when you can do this in the practice room and control it, then in the concert's no problem. Because I don't know if you're the same, but I used to get afraid of being afraid. I used to get nervous of the nerves, right? And because the nerves are a little bit different every time, sometimes I feel it more in the lips, sometimes I feel it more in the fingers or in the legs. Once you know, okay, if your lip starts a little bit shaking, I know how to do that. I've got that under control. Bob, go away, talk later. And then you can get on with giving yourself the strong shouting cues. Up, contact, air, whatever works for you. I'm just giving you my points, but I'm sure you can find a way. But by doing this, sort of getting your heart rate higher, you simulate what happens in a nervous situation. And now your heart rate is high from the squats and from the nervous situation. So when you can do it here, you can do it anywhere, all right? So let's try from the beginning, and those cues, if we feel that you're losing contact, we're going to shout, okay? So contact, it doesn't matter, we don't have to say the same thing. If we notice, if we feel anything, or if you're feeling, help me, look at them, and they will shout encouraging things, okay? Beginning. Yourself, because the bad news is that the nerves are not going to go away. The good news is that with experience you will find a way help you to use, not only to live with it, but to use it to your advantage. Okay, good. Feeling a bit better? All right, good. By the way, quite a danger, a good motto to have while you're playing, if you notice your thoughts going, oh my god, that didn't go very well, oh my god, and oh, that was quite well, oh, thank god I got through that part. Don't judge. Don't judge. The number of times I can't tell you that I played, for example, the first two notes, I think, oh, not too bad, not too bad. I've played those 2 notes much worse in my life. That's okay. And then the next 2 I break. Because I'm thinking, what happened? I cannot do anything about what happened. But I can do something about what's coming up. So don't judge is something that if I notice that my thoughts are kind of, oh, that was good, that was bad, think about the next note you have to play.
Yeah, but I think like I am saying those things to myself, but I don't trust them, and that's the problem. Like,
what don't you trust?
I don't trust those positive things, or how can I say it? You know, like you have to believe in that.
Yeah.
That it was good.
But you believe you love playing the flute. You believe that you love the piece. Yeah.
That's enough.
So this is enough.
Okay.
So have a stronger story. If the negative thoughts are really so loud, your positive thoughts have to be even louder, even stronger. That's why I suggest writing keywords that might help you on your music, sort of air or joy or share. This is a good one for me, because we can get very in our own bubble, like, oh my god, I wish I wasn't here. But we're here. You want to be a flute player, right? You want to be a performer. You want to share your music. So share is quite a good one. Think of them. They don't want you to be nervous. Yeah? It's like we were talking about with Marco, that when you're standing there, it's not comfortable for the audience. Also not for you, right? So maybe you need to find different messages, stronger messages, things that you cannot deny. You love the flute, you love the piece, you're happy to share your music. You believe all those, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do one last time beginning. These tenuto markings, can we feel this more like violin bowing? So I think Enescu is a violinist. I think.
Yeah.
Doubted for a moment. So I think that this is a way of saying full sound but articulated. Can you just play this? Just say once. Yeah, the air doesn't stop, but you're disturbing the air stream each time. Voila, yes. So then you keep the air going. So like you're keeping the bow moving. It's a shame that Patrick is not here to give. Sometimes it would be really useful to have violin. Patrick, right? Yeah. Then you have to put up with my air violin. Something like that. And then instead of a down bow, you're something little surprising, no? Let's do last time beginning. Like sigh. thoughts away from all the things. Oh my God, now I've got to do it. You know, so that's why I'm shouting, trying to help. This moment, the most relaxed playing we do is the loud playing. Yeah, sometimes we just need to remind ourselves of that. So this is a moment where you can think, this is easy. This is an easy bar. Switch off this is a moment where we can bob, go away. I made it to line 3. Yes! Mini victory. But I think it's really important to plan also moments where you can really relax. That's why we talked a few times in the slow movement of Mozart, when we have these long rests. Okay, this is a moment where we can just relax, put the flute down, find our ground again. Plan these moments. For example, I take it a step further. In a Mahler symphony, who's played a Mahler symphony?
Which one?
Any Mahler symphony. You know, it's like an emotional roller coaster. And I think sometimes when we're playing in the orchestra, we have to acknowledge the emotion we are feeling, but kind of park it and not get too involved in it, because we have a job to do, which is the next entry. If we allow ourselves to get completely caught up in all the emotion, it can be, maybe it can detract from what we have to do, our job playing whatever flute part we are playing. So when I'm playing a Mahler symphony with the orchestra, I don't think I ever told anyone this, but when I'm playing a Mahler symphony, there are moments when I say, okay, here I can listen and I can be involved and I can feel everything. And there are other moments when I have the same, as a musician, as a listener, I have the same feeling, but I cannot allow myself to go with it. I have to say, okay, 27, 2, 3, 4, 28, 2, 3, 4, and I have to focus on what I have to do. And I think that having a kind of roadmap for yourself, key moments where you have words to help you, like air or contact or lips or up or something. In the same way, you can have moments like this bar, I would suggest is something like relax or open or alleluia or I don't know. Having something that's going to connect you to the joy that you feel playing the flute, yeah? So as well as having helpful moments for the scary parts, also try and find key moments where you can really relax and enjoy. This would be one I would suggest. Shall we start directly from piano, delicatement? I've heard you playing a more beautiful, more gentle. Here and back. Repeated note. Even if you don't need to breathe now, we need to understand that there's a repetition. And daddalum, bum, yaddalum, bum. It's not a triplet, just playing this yaddalum, bum. Yaddalum. Yaddalum. Yes, it's about A flat, not about the F. Daddalodim. Yeah? Same place? And now open, relax, hallelujah! Okay, great. Wonderful. I liked your hallelujah moments. Sounded free and open and easy. Okay, so reinforcing the good messages in your playing as well. Why did I stop? Because there's a little technical thing that I just want to draw your attention to. After we've taken a breath, any of us, the danger is that the next note doesn't sound as beautiful. Because we have a lot of air suddenly, bah! So keep the control on the note after you've just taken a breath. I would suggest in this style of music, more vibrato, so that the air is moving and it's a little more cared for. So every note, first note after a breath, is kind of quite a consistent thing, that it comes with a little force and no vibrato. And I think it kills the atmosphere a little bit. So let's go, we'll start the same place. Even if you don't breathe, please give me more definition between the B flats, and I'll let you play. I'll stop talking, I'm talking too much. It's a high G. So it's very sharp. So you can play very smooth. And there's quite a lot of resistance, so it will help with the feeling of, oh, help, where have my lips gone? You need to really control the pitch as you make the crescendo, because it's really too sharp. Crescendo. And the good thing is that you're then so it helps for the next E flat legato as well.
It's off before.
Yeah, top G in the left hand, and then 2 and 4 and little finger in the right hand. And it's got that resistance which will help with that feeling, okay?
It's also bicolor is a
Yeah.
I think without the fourth finger, there is only
Oh yeah. Good, so based on harmonics, like yesterday we were talking about a lot of fingerings in the third octave we can use from trill. This is from harmonics, is the other way to find other fingerings. Good, let's start from this place. And we're just going to do from here, and we can do a little bit of the last movement. I just want you to think about these. There are lots of moments where there are lots of 16th notes. For example, in the beginning, and I think that this shouldn't sound too organized. I think these are kind of swirls. You know, when you think about Enescu writing this 1904 in Paris, and it's all Art Nouveau. Do I mean Art Nouveau? Yes, all the swirls, everything growing from plant shapes, women curves. So this sort of, and all these 16th notes shouldn't sound too organized. 4 beats in the bar, 4 notes in every beat kills it a little bit. So see if we can find a freedom within the, we were talking about yesterday in the slow movement of Mozart with the 30-second notes. If the framework is strong, then there's a little flexibility in between. Flexibility is a good word for that. So we just go from after the trill. There's all the time, you can take all the time you need. The second beat, nothing happens on the piano on the second beat. So the G, piano. The first bar of the Presto, first 2 bars, I need more sound, and then it can be less in the second, in the third and fourth bar. It's a little, I hear the uneven. If you can get it more even, maybe practicing, maybe that would help. So I would suggest those. So the first 2 bars, think maybe mezzo forte. Second 2 bars, little softer. Then back to mezzo forte, and then a little softer. Now, the reason I stopped was nothing to do with that. Repetition. I've been talking about it all week. When there's a repetition, use it. So, but take care, it's a 16th upbeat. Da da little little. You do eighth note. Dum little little. Ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da. Ya ba da ba da ba da ba da. Più sostenuto, più leggero, più piano, più forte. I don't care. Something different. Then you're offering the jury another way that you can play this. Otherwise, they think you can only do it one way, and you can't. I'm sure. We got another one coming up with the top G. So same principle. This a little bit more. This a little bit less. Or less. Second time. Find a reason to repeat it. Dum, ching, dum, ching. Needs to be much more assertive, so I would really mark the breath very early. Let's go from dom ba da ba dom ba da ba da ba da ba da. I can't sing a G. And biggest fan and not